Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review. Today we'll be talking about episode 7 for season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, titled Delusion. Now I didn't really know what to expect going into this one because from the preview, it looked like it was going to be a filler episode and seemed like it was going to be really unnecessary, but it turned out to be a really entertaining and really cool episode actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. Sure, plot-wise, nothing really happens that's important, aside from, of course, the ending, which is pretty important. That aside, though, nothing really happens story-wise, but this one was just really fun, unique, and just weird and bizarre episode that I really had fun watching. So this episode has Ash waking up in an insane asylum after being knocked out by Baal in the previous episode, and it's this whole crazy thing where he has a doctor who is actually Baal in disguise, and he's trying to convince Ash that this whole thing has been in his head, and he really is just a crazy person who killed all of his friends in a cabin 30 years ago. But of course, Ash knows what's really going on and doesn't believe a single thing, and figures out that the doctor is Baal, since he actually hasn't seen Baal in his actual form yet. So Ash is just trying to get out of this hospital and get back into the real world so he can actually stop Baal. And along the way he comes across a bunch of people who he always sees as Kelly, Pablo, and Ruby, but it turns out they're really not. That's just all in his head that he sees these people. They all have different names. They're not actually those characters. Ruby is a nurse at the hospital, Pablo is an orderly who keeps beating up Ash a ton of times, and Kelly is this insane patient at the hospital. And so this episode is kind of a cliched plot of just a main character stuck inside an insane asylum where everything's in his head. Something you've seen before, but this is done with that just classic Evil Dead style of humor and just craziness that makes it stand out and makes it really great. When the best part about this episode is the fact that it's all centered on Ash. You know, he's in basically every scene of this episode, so this is really just Bruce Campbell's time to shine, and he's incredible in this episode. He's just in command the entire time, and it's great. From the goofy stuff that's the majority of the episode, to when the episode actually gets pretty serious, especially near the end, Bruce Campbell plays the serious parts very well, and it's great. This is probably the best episode to showcase Bruce Campbell's acting, since he is the main focus of it. We're not focused on a bunch of characters like we have been for the past many episodes of this season. This is just Ash stuck in an asylum and he has to get out. And I thought that was really entertaining. There's a lot of great sequences in this episode that I really enjoyed. There's a lot of awesome moments, just classic Evil Dead style moments, like when Ash is in the hallway and the hallway starts to tilt to the side, he starts like falling to the side, and I thought that was really cool. And when it comes to acting, Dana DeLorenzo as the inmate who Ash sees as Kelly was phenomenal. It was just great. She was really funny and she played this just crazy, weird character so well, and I was really surprised at that. I mean, I've always liked her in the show. Like, as an actress, I think she's good, but it was just surprising at how different and how just bizarre and out there she could be. I thought that was really great, and I love that she was the character who tagged along with Ash most of the time, especially at the end when they break out of the place. And I'm glad this episode gave her a chance to shine as a different type of character than just her typical badass character that she plays as Kelly. What I like about this episode is that it doesn't feel just like typical filler or just a random throwaway episode. There's actually importance to this episode, and it's the fact that Baal is really trying his hardest to break Ash. Ash may be dumb and stupid at times, but he knows what he's doing. So he's a much harder character to break than just, say, the sheriff, where it just took, like, boom, one conversation, he was already under the spell. Baal had to make this whole delusional reality for Ash in order to break him, and it almost didn't even work. So that's what I really took from this episode. I thought that was really cool. It just shows the extent that Baal will go to get Ash under his command, and just how strong Ash really is as a character. So that's the basic idea behind the episode and why that I don't think it's just typical filler. Because at the end of the episode, Baal finally breaks Ash. You have that scene where he watches the security camera footage of him killing the orderly and the inmates, whereas he didn't see himself doing that, and it convinces him that he is a killer. Now, is Ash really convinced that he is? Or is that just him playing along with Baal? I don't know. I'll have to see in the next episode. But I really like that final scene where Linda goes to talk to him, and Ash just goes, "No, I'm a killer, like, this is who I am." I thought Bruce Campbell's performance in that scene was just great. I thought that was really well done. I like the scene where he's getting the electroshock therapy. I thought it starts out fun, then it gets really serious, or like they're shocking him, and he's just kind of like just joking around, and the voltage gets really powerful, and it really hurts him. Then we get to see Chet again, which I thought was really fun. Just get a nice little cameo by Chet. And then he gets his face completely burnt to a crisp, and Ash just goes, "Oh, you killed Chet again." That was hilarious. And the one thing that steals the show, the best part of this entire episode, is a puppet that's on Ash's hand. It's something I never thought I'd say, but Bruce Campbell has amazing chemistry with a puppet. And the way he performs the puppet, it makes him like a believable character. And their back and forth between Ash and the Ashy Slashy puppet is just hilarious. And just the standout part of the episode, whenever they're together on screen, them just going at it, it's just so funny. And just the fact that this doesn't even make any sense. How is there a puppet on his hand that's talking on its own? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Even Ash brings that up. He's like, what's going on here? And I thought that was the best part of this episode. It was so funny and hilarious, and one of the most memorable moments of this season by far. So overall, there's not a whole lot to discuss for this episode, since not a lot happens plot-wise. It's just a lot of fun and interesting scenes, a lot of just cool sequences. And I'm really excited to see what happens with the next episode with Ash, if he's truly under Baal's control, or if he's just playing along. And if he is under control, like, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be like another version of Evil Ash, which is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see that. Sure, plot-wise, it didn't do too much. I know a lot of people are going to write this episode off as just filler. And I know a lot of people didn't even like this episode, but I enjoyed it. I liked the setting of the insane asylum. Sure, it's cliched, but I thought it was fun. I like just the creepy atmosphere this episode has at times. I like when it actually gets down and serious. It really works. The serious bits of this episode actually really works. This episode was a great showpiece for Bruce Campbell, just to chew the scenery and just show why he is awesome, because he is like in every scene and he's great. Great performance by Dana DeLorenzo as the crazy inmates. Just some memorable stuff that there's not even like a deadite in this episode, but it has some of the most memorable things of the season, like the Ashy Slashy puppet, which again just is hilarious and I love that. And just stuff like that that just stands out from the other stuff that's happened in the season, and just overall a really entertaining episode. So yeah, that's episode 7 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and that's about it for now, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.